Hey guys, welcome back to another Cultured Boys discussion. I'm Pepe and I'm joined by Nathan. And today we're doing one of our favorite series that we love to do. It's Cultured Boys Pitches. Hey, yes. For those of you that aren't too familiar with this, we've done a few of these on this channel where myself and Nathan pitch each other ideas that are generated through a kind of like a random selection of different categories, including genres, kind of media outlets, all sorts. There's all
Yes.
sorts of things we can come up with. And Nathan, what are we doing this week?
This week, we are pitching a running crime anime. And that's not like a crime anime that is currently running. It is about running.
Yes, yeah. It's we've always had the interesting uh categories come through this, and I think there's always been some which I think one of us has struggled more than the other.
Yeah.
You said to me, I think, because we chose this like 2 weeks ago, just because we needed to just get some life stuff out of the way. We need a bit of organizing in that, but you said you struggled a bit more on this one, Nathan.
Yeah, I did. Normally when we get the prompts, there's something I latch onto. There's like one specific thing that I'm like, right, I can do that.
Hmm.
But where we're on the ninth pitch, sometimes some of the things come up several times. Like we've pitched a few animes already, so I'm kind of like, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
whatever. And then crime, this isn't the first time it's come up, so it's like, okay, I've already probably used like the very like basic idea of like a whatever, especially because the last time was like a crime noir. So it was like, oh fuck,
It
like,
was, yeah. It was
do you know what I mean?
ninjas, weren't it? Yeah, like it was a ninja noir film. It was, and noir's basically the most common kind of noir genre. Like, I think of that is like you want to go for a detective-y,
Yeah,
shady kind of
exactly.
thing, don't you?
So then it was like,
Yeah.
oh fuck. And then with running, I was like, well, this is like just a really random prompt. Like, what
Yeah.
what do you?
I
So
don't. Yeah, like running is a really interesting one because like, I don't think we've had like I don't even know where that comes into. It's such a random like hobby kind of thing.
right,
It's like if it was like a running magazine, it'd be like, oh, okay, that's easy to do. Just create a running magazine. But then
right.
there's also another usual prompt that comes in there. Yeah, it's an interesting combination of things.
So how do you find it?
I mean, I had like this idea running in my head. I came up with the title. Yes, I realized that was unintentional. Most of my puns are intentional. That one wasn't. And this one, I had the idea for the name first, and then I came up with the concept afterwards. So
hmm
it's never really like I don't think it's a great sign that I've come up with the name of the series before I actually come up with what the fuck the concept is.
I just to throw in there, I'm the opposite. I've come up with a concept. I
Oh
have no
yeah,
title.
you haven't got a title, or you
No,
have like
I have no
you haven't got
title.
okay.
And for once, the extra rule of supplementary content,
Yeah.
I have nothing. I have not made a single
Man, you
thing.
really have that, yeah.
I I sh- I've just been super swamped, super busy, but also just like I struggled. This is how much I struggled. I did not have
Mhm.
enough time to go and draw something.
Wow, okay. Wow,
I
okay.
came up with this like a day ago.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like a lot of my pitches kinda come in, like, waves because I'll come in like it'll come in like a small wave for me, and then suddenly it'll all hit me at the same time, and I'd spend, like, an hour
hmm
just writing down notes and stuff, and I thought this time, "Oh, I haven't really created that much for it," but I actually have kinda written a fair few paragraphs on this, which is really surprising considering I didn't actually think I had that much down.
Okay,
Do you want me to jump into it then
sure,
with this
sure.
one?
Let's go.
So, okay, so my running crime anime. I'm glad that you haven't chosen a title for yours, Nathan, because I feel like we probably would have come up with a very similar title of some kind. Because I feel like there's a very small pool of things you can come from, unless it's a completely unique thing. My anime is called Clue Chaser.
Okay.
Like, and it's like basically you get the whole premise of like clues, detectives
Yeah.
chasing. Anyway, the story is the story of a renowned detective who can only solve crimes when he gets his blood pumping. His method of choice: running.
Interesting. Okay.
How I go? Okay, so I came up with two characters in this. I haven't really developed it too much past the two characters. It's kind of like a Sherlock and Watson kind of situation with them. So
Hmm.
the main character is Detective Miyata Yasuo,
Okay.
well known detective for his ludicrous methods of solving crimes. When he's not running or solving crimes, he's lethargic, lazy, and uninspired. However, when the talk of a crime that needs to be solved piques his interest, he takes evidence and literally runs with it. See what I did there. Anyway,
Yay.
because of his ludicrous methods, he is cautioned a few times by police, but he gets results almost 100% of the time.
Okay.
So like, that's the main character. Sidekick is Takeda Chiyoko.
Hmm.
Again, like FYI, I've just put these through a random Japanese name generator and look for the like kind of similar, like because they have meanings next to them as well. So I just went, yeah, okay. I don't know what the meanings are right now. I lost them, but yeah. So Takeda is an ex-athlete slash college dropout. Her career came to an abrupt end due to a suspicious accident,
Hmm.
like during her training and stuff like that. Currently, she works at a small time gym running admin, doing bits and pieces to keep the place together. She's passionate about the gym and yearns for her days as an athlete. Though she drops out of college for mental health reasons, well, that's how she puts it anyway. She has a huge talent for sports science and is very clued up on the human body. So that's and then I've kind of written a few paragraphs as how the first episode would work out, I guess.
Okay.
Uh, no pun intended. Uh, um, right, okay. So, one day while running admin and day-to-day tasks at the gym, Takeda finds a lone man lying on the floor in the hallway. He looks to be unconscious. As she goes to help him, she finds that he's just obviously just a bit like lethargic, as I said, like his character.
Hmm.
No, she think he needs to be inspired. She's like, okay, cool. I'll take this guy. Maybe like, we're in the gym. Just maybe like help him work out a little bit. Assume that he needs an inspiration. She kindly shows him around, and then it's no avail. He's just like tries to show him all the like gym equipment, and he's like, nah, not feeling it. She's like, what the fuck are you even here then? And then it's to her surprise, he makes a shocking revelation that a murder is about to take place in the gym. Ooh, detective-y stuff.
Dun
Anyway,
dun dun.
Takeda is surprised but goes along with it. Oh, weird sentence. And she's surprised by the man's ridiculous methods in solving mysteries. He quickly moves from corner to corner of the gym, scouring for evidence as he picks up on clues. As he moves faster and faster, he suddenly turns into a changed man. The lazy, lethargic guy is no more. Like he's now basically breaking into a sprint, finding all these like random clues and evidence of like who the murderer could be, basically.
Hmm.
She's fascinated. Takeda's fascinated by his every move, and as he dashes all over the gym, he even moves outside to the surrounding areas. And she keeps track of his movements through CCTV and watches as he swiftly catches the criminal. His methods are strange, but they work. Yeah, that's like a brief summary of that. I haven't
Okay.
gone into too much detail about the crime itself because I thought it was like I just need to get that pitch down. Really, I don't need to go into the ins and outs of everything. It's basically I wasn't sure how the murderer would work out. No pun intended. In the gym. Uh, um. Anyway, Takeda later finds out this man is no ordinary man. It is Miyata Yasuo, obviously our main character, the
Hmm.
legendary running detective. Yay.
Yay.
Miyata picks up that on a scar on Takeda's ankle, which he deduces is a sports injury because, detective and stuff. She tells him all about her past and like what she experienced as an athlete, blah blah blah, and all the accident as well. Miyata, though, suspects that there's more to the story than she lets on. There's a crime afoot. Afoot running, you know what I mean? There's more stuff
Oh,
there.
you
Anyway,
you're really like just mentally attacking me today, aren't you?
I think it's like about how many have we done now? Like 5 or 6 already.
Too many. Too many.
Um, so in future on in the series, while Miyata looks more into Takeda's case, the two become friends and inadvertently they start solving crimes together.
Hmm.
And within the these like crimes could take place within the sports world and could also take place like outside of that as well. But that is the rundown of Clue Chaser. It's like kind of like at times I kind of forgot that this is an anime and not a manga, so I actually envisioned this
Uh,
more. I mean, realistically though, most anime do start off as manga
yeah.
anyway, or visual novels. You know what I mean? So it's like it's weird that I actually envision this more as a manga more than the anime, but it's in the two kind of coincide a little bit. But yeah, that's a Clue
So
Chaser.
my first thought is that complete, and I know this is a complete happy accident because
Hmm.
Pepe's not a car guy, and he put names through the generator.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
your main character being Miyata,
Hmm.
which is the American name for the Mazda MX-5, the small two-door convertible like sports car.
Oh,
I
a
know.
sports cars. Oh, I like
So
that. Okay, cool.
so
That's
I
even
was
more
like,
tied in. I love that shit.
yeah. So you're like Miyata, and the whole time I'm just sitting here like I'm not even picturing a person. I'm just like the car, like the little car.
I didn't even clock that, you know.
Well, you never
That's
would.
not.
Like you're not a
Yeah,
car guy, but
no,
like
no, no. It's,
yeah,
it
the
kind of
whole
adds more into it. I like that it's a sports car, though. It's like,
it literally is like I
Mm,
just kept picturing this
yeah,
like the
because
little sports car.
the
Like,
I think the name for Miata when it got generated, I think the reason why I was drawn to it because you know like when you generate a Japanese name like through those like
yeah.
sites and stuff, the translation there was a healthy man or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I was like, okay, look, if there's anything that's connection to a sports like or a running crime
Yeah,
anime,
healthy
it's
man
gonna
would make
be.
sense.
And I think there's something that's quite similar to Takeda's one as well.
Okay.
Um, but I can't remember exactly what hers was, but it's something in the same sort of like I don't think it was too closely tied to running or anything, but
Okay.
it felt like there was a decent connection there. Anyway,
So I have one follow-up question.
yeah,
Where is this set? And you know where
it's
I'm
not
going
New
with
York.
this.
It's not New York. It's not. This is there's no connection to New York in this one. There's no connection to New York. I like if anything, like I did want it to be like a well populated city.
Mhm.
But, like, I don't think it's anything like Tokyo size. I don't think it's,
Okay.
like, anything like that. So I think, I don't know. It's, it's not exactly country either. It's like a small time town, like, maybe Kyoto? I mean, Kyoto's still
I
freaking
was gonna
massive
say
saying
like
about it,
small
but,
time
like, yeah.
town. Oh
Like,
yeah, like a small city
I
like
think
Kyoto.
in terms of, like, presence anyway, you know, like,
Yeah.
Tokyo's all built up, like,
Yeah, yeah.
skyscrapers and stuff. Kyoto feels a little bit more leveled out, you know what I mean? So I think,
Okay.
in terms of cityscape, I think that would be more the vibe, like,
Okay.
but yeah.
Just
Yeah, that's,
I just wanted to
I
see if
know,
you
I
were
know,
staying on
I
brand
know.
or
Yeah,
not.
I was thinking, could I include a New York tie-in with this? And I thought
It's
it's too much to do
it's
so.
time to
Yeah.
change it up, apparently.
I don't think I don't even know where. I think if I was going to include a New York tie-in at some point, like it probably would be something like the detective is from New York or something like that. That to be like you know like a police
Yeah.
you know like I envision like you know in Ace Attorney there's a detective Gumshoe.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I can kind of just like imagine yeah, like like
Fair
that
enough.
kind of thing.
Fair
Maybe
enough.
yeah. That's the only thing I can kind of tie in with Clue Chaser with a New York thing.
I like it
Um,
though. I like it. It's
yeah.
it's not what I mean, again, I struggled to come up with my own pitch, so I don't know what
Mhm.
I don't know what I'd imagine you was gonna pitch, but like I can safely say we have once again not come up with the same thing, so that's good.
Good, good. It's kind of tough because I feel like most detective series as well, especially in anime,
Mm,
always have a main character and a secondary character that like also helps out.
yeah,
Like it's that like I said before, Holmes and Watson. Like it's that kind of dynamic, you know what I mean?
yeah, dynamic duo
Um
kind of thing. That's I like
yeah.
that though. It's I feel like you've definitely got the more interesting pitch, and I'm actually
Oh really? Okay, yeah.
after hearing your pitch, I'm kind of like, huh. I don't I don't quite understand how I came up with mine, but
I'm curious now. Yeah, we gotta like hear what you gotta say now. Nate, go on. I want to hear what this is now.
okay. So once again, I have no title. I
Hmm.
I struggled. I did not know what to name this. But my running crime anime is more of I've added like a tiny bit extra. So
Hmm.
I envision this as a sort of sitcom like parody style anime.
Okay, yeah.
So imagine lots of references, lots of gags, such and such. In a world where marathon runners are the biggest celebrities and one is more infamous than any other, the Marathon Bandit. This mysterious runner sprinted onto the scene 10 years ago and has won every marathon since. The only problem is no one knows who they are or how they keep winning. Many have tried to apprehend the bandit, but none have prevailed. And now it's Detective Osoi's problem. So there's my synopsis.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I like the concept of this, Carl.
So far, I only have the two characters, the Marathon Bandit themselves.
Hmm.
No one knows who they are because they often turn up in cosplay. They're always in costume. You never know. It's a different costume every time. This is where the parody comes in because sometimes it might be a shitty anime character cosplay. It might be some
Hmm.
random Western character reference. That's why no one ever knows. It's a mystery. And then we have our Detective Osoi. Osoi meaning slow.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
His complete opposite. I imagine Osoi to be an older gent. He's one of the old boys on the force. You know, he's been around a
Hmm.
while. He's seen some things, but he's very slow. He's a little rotund. You know, he's got a bit fat.
Hmm.
He's
Got a bit of belly,
yeah, he's
yeah.
got a bit of a belly, and you know he's getting on in years. They throw him the easy stuff, but now no one wants to deal with this shit anymore. So they just chucked it to the old boy. And he's got to use everything in his power,
Hmm.
all his experience to try and figure out how the fuck this bandit keeps coming in, keeps winning these marathons, and doing God knows what with the prize money because he always claims it. He always wins and always claims his prize money. He's been
Hmm.
doing it for a decade. They don't know how.
A decade as well. Jeez, man, he's been at it.
Yeah. So there you go. That's
Ah,
literally all I could come up with. I
that's
struggled for so long.
no. Like it's one of those series that like immediately it sounds like something I would watch. Like immediately,
This is
like this.
honestly when I came up with it, I was like, this feels more like a Pepe pitch than a me pitch.
Yeah, it's like I think like I do agree with what you said like about like incorporating another genre in there like a comedy kind of factor because I
Yeah.
could definitely like I was definitely contemplating that at one point as well. I think that's why I kind of like added the lazy lethargic kind of thing in because you
Yeah.
can't just go for a simple like to do a simple crime thing without having those extra elements. That's what like
Mm.
anime is about a lot of the time. Like it's not going to be like a Death Note thing. You can never do a Death
Oh
Note
god.
running thing. Like if imagine if that was like revolved around running, it'd be absolutely absurd. But like I think when you add a little level of comedy in there every now and then, it does work out 100%. But I do like that. I kind of want to know. So this is all from the detective's point of view, yeah?
Pretty much. I'd imagine
Yeah.
the first episode is mostly
Mhm.
exposition, probably from the bandits' point of view.
Okay, yeah.
But the bandit I imagine to be just like the wackiest
Mhm.
character, almost like a
Yeah.
Japanese Looney Tune.
Yeah. Is he like silent or is he actually speaking at all? Or I assume that it could be a she, it could be anyone
I'd
really, isn't
imagine
it?
that there's a voiceover,
Oh, okay, yeah.
at least in the first episode, but I don't imagine having a set voice, male or
Okay.
female,
Okay. So is
because
it like one of those ones where it's like a warped one, where it's just like those kind of
I
like
don't even
you
imagine
don't
it's a
know.
warped one. I just imagine it's just different person every time.
Wow,
Just a
okay,
different
yeah.
voice, like
Hmm.
just to really add on to the extra layers of like you don't know. You just don't know. And
Yeah.
because it's a comedy and because they're just this wacky character,
Hmm.
it could literally be anybody.
That's interesting.
Voice changes, all sorts of shit. Like,
I like the concepts of it. I really do like. I think it's like you said, it feels like something that I probably would come up with, and I like the idea of I do like the fact that the detective is pretty like a stark opposite of a marathon runner as well. So where's your one set then? Where's the set? Or is it all over the
it's,
world kind of thing? Consider it's marathons.
I mean, like, considering, I think mostly it's like imaginary
Hmm.
Japan,
Hmm.
so it's like,
Okay. Ah, okay.
it's like
Yeah. Yeah.
Japan, but it's like a version that mostly fits as well. So it would be a Tokyo, but like a really weird like Tokyo that's like mostly revamped for people to run instead of like mostly
Yeah.
cars.
Yeah.
Like it's a version of Japan where because marathon runners are just the biggest celebrities. Like the country's more focused on having like well paved roads that are wide enough for just
Yeah.
loads of people to run on instead of like cars and shit.
Yeah. It sounds like what was I gonna say as well? Like so Marathon Bandit, that's his name, right?
Yes.
It like so what is his crime? Is there a crime?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? It's not really a
They just want to
crime. It's just
it's not
because
really
it's not
yeah.
really a crime. They just think there's something going on because it's like, what the fuck's this?
They're trying to investigate, but there's
Yeah.
like yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, yes. It feels like they're going after him for like that. Yeah, I guess with that you can't can't confirm that he's doping. I imagine like in normal marathons or whatever, like a competition ones or whatever, they probably would test you for that kind of
Yeah.
thing. But I guess in this world you've set up, there isn't a thing like regarding bank transfers and stuff like that as well. Does he just get does he just get a case full of cash and then runs off of it? Is this the concept of it, or
I don't know. Much like when you're a kid, I'd imagine he gets one of those really big checks, and then he
yeah,
runs off with it. He folds it up,
yeah,
shoves it in the
yeah,
pocket, and then bolts off, and you never really
and then
fit.
money's just in
Yeah,
the account. It's like
somehow,
you don't
yeah.
see him walking into the bank or
Yep.
whatever. Be like, I want
It's
to.
just that there you go. As soon as that he touched that check, that's the
Yeah, that's money gone. That's it.
money.
This is basically his. Yeah. I like that. Yeah.
Just the money and the fame,
You know, I can kind of imagine this as well. You know, like certain animes have like a 10-minute episode kind of
Yeah.
thing.
These definitely would be shorter, like weird little
The
vignettes.
the best thing about this, Nathan, is that like you've created a series which I know for a fact you wouldn't get into
Oh
whatsoever.
yeah, I would not watch this.
You've created something you would not enjoy.
The irony of it
Yeah.
is amazing. Yeah, I would never watch this ever. Like,
if anything like this ever became like, imagine if you created this and it became successful, you'd just be like, fucking hate this thing.
suffering from success.
Yeah, exactly. All these gains, all I have to show for it, my shitty series.
Could you imagine? It's just one of those. It's like all that merch and shit, like just surrounded by it, and I just sat there like miserable as fuck. Like, God,
Yeah.
this is my crowning achievement,
Yeah.
my magnum opus. This fucking bollocks.
I
Great.
like to think that like, you own this and you still choose, even though you hate the series,
Oh yeah.
you still chose to live in a whole room full of your the thing you hate the most. You've chosen to put posters up
Yeah,
and stuff like
like
that.
it's a whole office just like filled with it. Every single like thing that's ever come out for it, it's like filled in my office, and I'm just sat there like seething, like God, I hate this. What has my life become? I still milked it for everything it's worth, but god damn, I hate it.
Yeah, it's world renowned fame. He hates everything about it. Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, man. Is there is there anything else I guess we could add to this? Is there any other questions you have about Clue Chaser, I guess, or is there like
I actually don't, because it's like your pitch about Clue Chaser was just like very
Mm,
succinct.
yeah,
Like all
it's
the details, I was like, okay, I just get it.
Mm.
You know, like
Yeah. I think like with that kind of thing, I kind of like took a little bit of inspiration from that detective on Ron thingy,
oh
the
yeah, yeah, yeah,
detective,
Ron
the
Kamanahashi,
one.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I took a little bit. Like I think you can see like when you like read into some of it, it's like, oh, okay, this detective that's kind of like
Yeah.
struck off, but like kind of
Struck and
like
then
gets
I
a.
see it now where there's like the quirky
Mm,
element because like Ron is like weird and just sort of whatever, and then it's like, oh, clue, and then he like kicks into action.
yeah.
I can kind of see it now that you said that.
No, I think like I realized like probably while writing it, I was like, this feels very like Ron Kamanahashi. But it's there and it's different in some kind of way.
No, I see it as like you're definitely right by saying it's inspiration. I wouldn't say it's like, oh man, there it is. Like,
Hopefully, it's not too plagiarized. I mean, yeah, it's fingers crossed. I'm not making this series. Realistically, so.
I
I'd rather
mean,
make your series than mine,
yeah,
to be
that's the
honest. That's
funniest
bad.
thing, and I would prefer to make yours.
Yeah, let's just switch works. Let's do that. I think considering like you struggle with that though, I think like it still came out like I think it's still like a solid idea there. Like as I said, like it's something I could get into. It's just enough for
Yeah,
me to be like, okay, cool. I like the
I
premise of
think
that.
it's just because I hadn't realized I was just focused on getting an idea down. I hadn't
Yeah,
realized that I
yeah.
come up with an idea that I just personally wouldn't enjoy anyway. So
Mm,
that's probably why I was like, yeah, this pitch kind of sucks. You know,
yeah.
like
Oh, I enjoyed it.
I'm just glad that even though it's the first I didn't make something, at least it's not the first where we came up with the same idea or the first where one of us came with no idea.
I was generally thinking that you would have like I think I'm quite surprised you didn't come up with a title for it as well because I was like
I
I
don't
feel like even
know.
just like like when you can get like one of those really long titles there like
Oh yeah.
help I've been chasing this marathon bandit for 10 years or something like that or like
Oh
who
man.
is the marathon bandit or something like I feel there's premise there's a lot of like opportunities there
I
for
don't
like
know. I was like trying to keep it short and I wanted to involve running somehow, but like
yeah
it's like tossing up between like, am I focusing more on the bandit or am I focusing more on the detective? Like, who's the actual main
mm.
character? And then it was like, I couldn't be bothered after. I was
I
like, I
feel
just give
like
up.
to me, like I feel like the bandit is more of like the main character. I like the detective obviously is main as well, but like it kind of like the whole series revolves around that bandit. That you can I can see them doing like wacky stuff and that like I can see like it like you said about the cosplay kind of thing where it's like
Yeah,
a different outfit each
I
time.
suppose it's more. It's like kind of like a Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote kind of thing. Even though they're opposing forces, you always just call it Roadrunner, and everyone knows what you're talking about. You know, like so. I suppose it would be that like it's the Marathon Bandit and Detective Osoi, but like you would probably focus more on the bandit.
I feel like the bandit is probably the main thing to focus there, and I feel like you can imagine like just every now and then like the end of an episode would be like I took one step closer to finding out who the bandit was, and then like like where it like the story doesn't really progress that much, but it kind of does at the same time. It's like I found out a little bit more about the bandit today.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sound is there anything else you want to say, Nathan, about these pictures at all?
um, no, they good. It's good. It's good stuff.
Yeah. That there you go. Said it. Put that on Yelp somewhere. Comment down below is good. That's all we need.
Is good stuff.
Is good stuff. Right. Okay. Any case, guys, let us know which pitch you preferred, or like if you wanted to pitch your own one in the comments. I don't know if you guys want to do that. It's hard enough as it is. But let us know what you think of our pitches. And always remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell button for future Cultured Boys videos. Click the links in our description. We have our X and our podcast platforms there. And we will see you guys next time for another Cultured Boys episode. Bye bye.
Bye.